Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Playback Podcast presented by Car, your weekly podcast featuring America's favorite dancers, hosted by America's favorite road warriors. We are your hosts, Jocelyn, Kristen, and Madison. I miss you, Madison. I wish you were here with us.
I'm sad. I'm really sad. The vibes, they're still good. The vibes are still great. They are just much better when I'm replacing those Celsius cans and I'm in the middle.
I know. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
It's fine. I'll get over it.
We're going to try to work our magic to get Madison here like every couple weeks, at least once a month. We're going to figure it out because number one, it's just so much more fun when she's actually here with us, but it's okay. We make it work.
By work our magic, we're going to knock on Adrian's door in his office and just beg him to let me come once a week.
Right. We'll figure it out. All
right. All right. Where were you guys this weekend? Tell me about it.
I was in Torrington, Connecticut.
I was in Chicago, Illinois.
Any standouts?
Definitely standouts, but although that I was in Torrington, Connecticut, we did have another Connecticut show in Bridgeport, and we just have to talk about this performance before we move on to my show, because the fact that we had two Connecticut shows was really awesome, because I got to reach out to our MC that was working the Bridgeport show, and she sent me this routine. It was posted on our Instagram as soon as it won first overall. This dancer is actually one of our car proteges. Her name is Kaylee, and she is from Triple Threat Performing Arts. And they are an outstanding studio. But this performance specifically, obviously it was amazing because it won first overall. But just alone, the costume, the red glove is such like a standout part of her costume. But like her technique, her attention to detail, her attack, she's what we talked about the past couple weeks, like this beast mode comes out, and she's so just in capturing like with this performance. I don't think that there was anyone there that wasn't watching that performance, because she just commands the stage.
Was that the same studio that did the routine that you guys talked about with the boat?
Yes.
On stage?
Yeah, that was the same one. Triple Threat. I don't know who that main girl of that dance was, but
what if it was the same person?
I don't know. You guys will have to let us know if that's the same dancer. We're not 100% sure, but
she has a great mix of flexibility and strength. Oftentimes you either are, you're a turner, or you have legs, or you're just a really powerful dancer. She has a really, really good mix of kind of everything. Even that, I know front walkover seems simple, but the way she holds her legs and then brings the rest of her body up to meet it, but her leg almost went higher when she brought her body up to meet it. She just has a really, really good mix of everything there. That was really impressive.
That was my favorite part of her solo, is when she did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was just you were reading my mind, because it really was.
Got it.
She was so powerful, and then immediately switches into like the most controlled. Like, it's just amazing. She's got that technique. But anyway, we just had to get that out of the way, because Bridgeport was an outstanding show, and we were just hearing amazing things going on at that show this weekend. And obviously, it was the social media pick of the week, so we had to touch on it. But yeah, I was in Torrington, Connecticut, and we saw some amazing performances. But I want to hear how Chicago was first, because I know it's a really fun city to work.
Okay, first of all, this venue, stunning.
We know you've posted it 800 times. Just kidding.
It was so beautiful. Funny story is that we were actually supposed to go to that venue in 2020, the same weekend, March 13th weekend. We actually flew to Chicago, landed, found out everything was canceled, and flew home the next day. So I never actually ever got to go there. So walking in for the first time, I was like, wow, this is so cool. Beautiful, stunning. And stunning dancers too. It was a large show, about 607 acts throughout the weekend. Incredible. So the first dance I want to talk about was Act 256, What's Up, Duloc, from Storm Dance Alliance. And if anyone's a fan of Shrek,
so good.
This just hits it right on the head. Oh my gosh. All the little girls were dressed up as those like Harlequin kind of dolls that they had in the windows that were dancing.
Yes.
And then they did have a Lord Farquaad
in
the dance as well, that comes running out halfway through, does a tumbling pass as she comes on. It was so good. Like, the song came on and our MC didn't know how to pronounce it. And maybe he has never seen Shrek before. I mean, he has a 2-year-old.
Look at him.
He should have seen Shrek. Like, are you kidding me? the way the judges' faces like lit up as soon as they announced that dance, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." So I had to sit and watch. Are you kidding? Clean, precise movements with the facials and
Yeah.
choreography to go with it. Like, come on. I
How-
had to talk about
How
it.
have I've never seen a dance to this number before, and I feel like that's such a good like musical theater, like younger kid song.
Right.
And how many doll themed or like puppet themed dances
Yeah.
do you see? And I just feel like this is so creative, and also it's just so good.
I want to put it out there that someone should do a Shrek production.
Ooh.
I feel like I've seen just about every single type of musical theater routine, just because, especially with pageants, it's all musical theater, kind of putting on that character. I've never seen this. And I really, really almost have seen every single one done in every single different type of way. This is a really good
Yes.
idea. If you're watching this and you need an idea for next year, not to copy, but obviously have your own twist on it. This is really cute and really creative, and I've never seen it. This was executed very well. Really good idea. I really like this.
What studio was this?
Storm Dance Alliance.
Even
Get
when
it,
you
Stormy.
said he wants to talk about the Shrek dance, I was like, oh, the Shrek dance. That's cool. I want to see what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. If there's a Shrek production next season.
Wait, actually, really weird. But I was scrolling on Netflix last night,
No way.
and Shrek is the 10th most viewed. Like, you know how it says top 10 picks for Netflix?
Yeah.
Shrek was number 10. And I was like,
No
what's going
way.
on? It's 2022. Why is Shrek like getting a new
Oh, they
Well,
must have just
second
got it
win?
because it was on Hulu before.
Oh, that makes
Yes.
sense. I was like, it's kind of weird that it would be
And
trending.
also
Is
first.
Fiona? Oh, never mind. You know what I do see a lot is the Fiona version.
Yes.
The skip ahead, skip a. Why do we sing every single weekend? We
I know,
can't
it's
sing.
impossible to
Oh
not
my
sing.
goodness. That one's in there a lot, but I've never seen this kind of version of it.
Somebody wants. Okay.
Okay, now we have to move on.
It's just in. It was not Kate Lee on the boat.
Oh, it
It was
wasn't.
not
No, it
Kate
was
Lee on the
Morgan
boat.
Hershey.
More.
How'd you do that so fast?
Yeah, you hit him up.
I asked her.
We love a fact check. We love a fact check.
We love a fact
Honestly,
check. Rainbow Boardman. That's the show I'm picking from. Great talent all weekend long. I was obsessed going through all the different videos. This one girl actually stood out. I'm not going to lie. I clicked on her video first because of her name. I'm not even going to lie right here. Her name's Bennett. So cute. Such a cute name. She's from Soul Inspired. She did win first overall. She danced to This Bitter Earth. And then I started watching her routine, and I completely checked out of everything else that was going on around me. She was so amazing. You know how we've been talking in the past couple weeks, how the judges just want to see that 110% commitment.
Yes.
110%. There's a part where she grabs her legs and she just starts shaking it, and it matches with the song. I'm not going to sing it because we've learned I can't sing, but it's just so good. And she's so committed. She has that same mix of control and strength together. It's just matched perfectly.
Wow. Look
I
at
love her flex
costume.
foot.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me, I don't know how to explain this, but you know how I've talked about like when muscle memory kind of just takes over? It's kind of when you just like put the car in cruise control and you just get to drive.
Yeah.
That's how I feel watching it. I feel like her technique kicks in and she just has to worry about sitting there and enjoying the performance, right? She's not thinking about technique. She's not thinking about pointing her feet right here. She's just performing, and it's so beautiful. Right here, watch.
What?
Right? Just and then bah,
You guys want to do
right back into it.
What?
You guys want to do some audio to hear?
Yeah. Oh, good song.
But this song
So
is
beautiful,
good.
right? And I feel like if you're dancing to this song too, you especially have to have that full commitment. So graceful. Landed on one foot and held it into a leap. Just
How did she do that? She
look.
said,
What?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't start the reel on that part.
She just lands so light on her feet. Right here, holds it.
oh.
So she has speed. She's not going super slow, but she has that control just to stop it right there. And she dances all the way through her feet right there and all the way through her fingertips.
Beautiful.
Dang.
And
could
she's
watch her
using the
forever.
entire stage.
Yeah, she's in the wing. She said, "You're going to follow me, cameraman."
Literally every time I'm at Tally and I'm watching a performance, like, you know that I'm into it because my dance teacher, like, brain kicks in and I'm like,
moving. I
moving
know.
my
Yep.
head with them as they're going. I can't control it. It just happens. So if you're ever sitting behind me in the audience and you see me moving along, I'm sorry. I'm
I
just
do the
really
same
into
thing.
it.
If I'm really into it, I'll go like that. Or if it's like a dark piece, it's really funny because I'll by the end of the routine, I'm watching it through my eyebrows. Like,
Ew.
no, I'm not kidding. Like it starts like this, and then as I get like more and more encaptured, I like slowly, and then before I know it, I'm like watching them like this, and I'm like, oh,
It's like guys watching football, right? Like they follow the play. Like where are they gonna go when they make a
Yeah.
catch, they jump. I feel like that's the same thing, right? Not too
for sure,
different.
That's with dance.
but better. Okay.
All right. Well, she was my pick. I loved her. I watched that routine over and over and over again, especially that one part where she grabs her leg and shakes it.
Yeah.
So good. When you were talking about the emotion and everything like that, that reminds me of the soloist that I need to talk about from Torrington, Connecticut. Go ahead and play back 147 Firework from New England Dance Center. This dancer's name is Madison O. She was a beam of light on that stage. The second
Love
that she
that.
walked out, it was so just light and her smile. And I was looking at all of our judges and they were all watching her like this.
I
Like, they
love
just
Play
loved
it. Play it. I want to see.
and it was to a beautiful version of Firework. It was a cover,
Okay.
and it was just so stunning. Her control, her technique, everything was flawless. But it was really her face that I think like made her win first overall in title, because she was so enjoying the experience on stage and like making us feel every single lyric of that song. And it was just so beautifully done. And she had a couple other solos, I believe, and I was just excited for her to get back on the stage. Like, that's the performer that you're excited to watch all weekend long. And she just did an outstanding job. I was actually covering Tally at that point.
Oh, wow.
So luckily I was right next to our judges and I got to hear the commentary like as the performance is going. So I was getting to hear what they were saying as I was watching the performance, and everything that they were saying was right on. But it was just so beautiful to watch. And that's one of my favorite things, is getting to hear the judges' commentary, especially for a beautiful routine that they're really appreciating. I love getting to hear, because they're still critiquing. They're still, straighten that knee on that jump or whatever it may be. But they're just like, yes, this is so beautiful. And yes, your arms and your face and everything like that. It's just, I love watching those performances.
Yeah. It really like makes it. I remember there was one performance last season. I was in San Gabriel for block schedule. I think it was Pam Rossi's Dance 10. And they were in these bodysuits that were nude and they were all crystallized. Think Britney Spears.
Ooh.
Was it Womanizer? And they had these headpieces. It was an old like disco song. And we had Jody as my judge one. And the moment they walked on stage, I heard her and she was like, "Ooh, I want to wear what you're wearing right now." And so right from that moment, I looked up and I was like, I have to watch this dance.
Yeah. Amazing job to our Torrington, Connecticut show. Want to go ahead and go next, because I have a group that I have to talk about.
Okay, so I actually wanted to start out my next pick with a trend that I'm seeing this season. There was a video that went viral years ago and I cannot find it for the life of me, and it's such a bummer, but it was like a dance team and they were wearing all like kind of business casual clothing, pantsuits, they had briefcases, they had sunglasses on, heels, like all of that. And I'm seeing that a lot this season. And we can reference the Element Dance Center with their tap performance. They were wearing those purple pantsuits. We're seeing that every weekend, whether it's a solo, duet, trio, group routine. They're wearing that very
Business casual
wear.
I'm seeing a lot of plaid too, like the plaid blazers.
Yes, and like different colors, and it's really great.
Yeah.
So I saw this dance, Gimme Gimme, Act 270 from Denise Bala Dance Company this weekend, and they were wearing like a tan coat and pantsuit with sunglasses, and it was so well done. I was actually covering MC at this point in the show, and it was the moment that they started walking out on stage, and I was like, "Oh, I'm talking about them. Like, they look cool." And it was so crisp. Like, look at how they walk on
Ooh.
stage. I was like, "This is awesome."
Oh, yeah. Just
Almost
cool,
like
calm, and collected.
Yes, like it's like they do that dance in their sleep. Like they
Mhm.
could do it with their eyes
This is
closed.
such the style right now. I love it. I'm like almost jealous that this was not a style when I was competing because
Yes.
I would have
Yes.
doing these types of routines. Maybe we should just do one.
Yeah, maybe one week that Madison's here, we'll just make a routine. Nate will be in it too.
As
No.
long as you have like 911 ready to go, I'll give it
We're
all
not
I
in
got.
here waiting.
Yeah, if they're waiting outside, I'm ready to go.
What was the song to this one?
It was called Gimme Gimme.
Like,
It
give me.
wasn't.
Oh, just cool vibes.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. It
I like
wasn't
this
what
a
you
lot.
were.
It's really okay. So I had one teacher in high school who was really annoying, and she always. I did not mean to say that out loud. Oh my god.
You
Oh my
already did.
goodness. I
You
already said that out loud. Okay, but you can keep that in because no, you can't keep that in. Oh.
He's gonna.
You can keep that in. She didn't work there anymore. I feel horrible. You can't keep that in. Okay. I had one teacher in high school. It was our least favorite thing, but she used to always like say to us spatial awareness, spatial awareness, spatial
Yep.
awareness. And it was to the point that we like didn't want to hear it anymore. But I feel like in this routine, spatial awareness is so important. And you can tell that they're very good at it because you don't know, you can't practice on the size of a stage in your studio walking on like that. And they have so many entrances from the wings. So you can tell they really have to have spatial awareness as much as I didn't want to hear that when I was in high school over and over and over again. And they do a really good job each time they come on stage at finding that formation and having spatial awareness of the dancer that's next to them as well.
Totally.
I can't believe I was that honest. And said
I
it
want
like
to talk
that.
about real quick because you guys talked about. I think it was you, Jocelyn. You said when they come on stage, you could tell like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yes.
And we talked about Kaylee already, but look at this.
Competing for Miss Dance is Act 62. My heart
Her
will
entrance.
go on.
Yes,
Already.
girl.
Look at that.
Yes.
Chin up, looking. I love
She said, "You watch me," and look, she's still dancing all the way through her fingertips while she's right there.
You can see her back
Woo!
muscles ready, engaged,
like ready
already.
to go from the
If
moment.
you can't hear the music, that whole beginning walk on could have been part of the dance.
Yes,
Mhm.
completely.
I
I
love
just
her.
wanted to touch on that because I never really paid attention to that too much as being a non-dancer, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, there would have been no doubt that that wasn't going to be so good.
Yeah, now people will watch out for that and watch for that entrance. And same thing with that group of the girls in the blazers. Like immediately when they walked out on stage, they took control.
Mhm.
But I saw a blazer group as well.
Yes.
It was from Apogee Dance Academy. It was titled Feel Good, and it was a group tap number. And they were all in different colored blazers. And the best part is literally, if I read my notes on my phone, I said OCD thriving because their formation changes were based on their colors of their jackets. So like it was so visually nice to watch because they had like a couple blue, a couple pink, a couple green or yellow or something. And then based on their formation changes and based on their colors, they would do the different parts of the choreography. And then there was one part where they did like this full rotation, and it was just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. And I loved it. But the fact that it's again another blazer routine.
That's a
Do
thing.
you know what I always wonder? I don't know. So if you're a choreographer or a teacher and you've done those routines that are color coordinated, because I've seen those before, but do you have your dancers wear their matching colors to rehearsal? How do you, I mean, it's hard enough to look at formations, then dancers, then choreography, then counts, but then trying to remember which one's wearing which color and putting those together the entire time.
Yeah.
Like how do
you is there like a little hack to make that easy? If there is, let us know in the comments below. I would love to know.
I feel like you could just like put a piece of tape or literally just be like, who's green? Raise your hand. Okay, you go here, you go here. But
I guess, yeah. But I wonder if there's something that people do that make it really easy.
Maybe.
Probably.
Every choreographer has their tips and tricks. But it was such a good routine, and it was called Feel Good. And I hate myself because I literally said it's just a feel good routine.
No, you didn't. No,
it's
you
in
didn't.
my notes. I swear, it's in my notes.
No, I believe you 100%.
It was so good though. It was really enjoyable to watch, and I love that it's like following the blazer trend.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, I have a pick from Carr, Long Island. It was called All by Myself from Studio L Hoboken. I love saying that. Studio L Hoboken. Y'all, I'm just gonna take a moment of silence and let you watch for a couple seconds.
Okay.
I want to wait till it gets to the turn section. She's insane.
I like the costume.
Beautiful red. Wait, ready? Watch these turns. Hold on. Ready? Watch. Not only does right, wait, ready? And then she's gonna pull in. And then hold. So stupid good. So beautiful. Just the control is insane.
I want to know who her choreographer was so that I
Wait,
can
she just did a
ask.
front walkover and
On her
put her
toes.
foot into a passe and then stepped out.
Yeah, on her toes. The one thing, so yes, her turns are insane. Her
Oh,
technique is
what?
insane. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I needed to be silent, but I couldn't help myself. But there's something besides, I know.
Yeah.
Besides the obvious of her technique, tricks, dancing being amazing, there's something really, really important here that I wanted to talk about. And
Okay.
it touches on what the judges have said in the past, the eye contact, the facials, the performance. It looks like this dancer broke down her routine count by count and did a facial for each count and said, I'm going to look at this judge on this count. I'm going to look at this direction on this count. Look, she doesn't have a single spot where she's looking off or doesn't have a facial. Oh, I mean, look at those turns. Those are beautiful.
It looks like
But
it's
even her
just floating.
turns.
She's not even moving.
Yeah.
No, even her turns. Look, she has a facial for every single walk. She's looking a certain direction. She's so captivating. Every single move, every single face, every single look is so intentional. It looks like she did
Beautiful.
every single count on purpose, and that takes so much time. I mean, if she learned this not too long ago, you have fooled me. It looks like you learned this at the very beginning of the season and spent hours and hours and hours perfecting each single count. That was
No, that looks finals ready. Like it looks like she's
Yeah.
been rehearsing this for the last 7 months.
it looks like she won and they invited her back to perform at Showcase and they were
Yeah.
saying this is
Right.
who won
No, it was-
overall.
That was beautiful. That was
The way she
Insane, right?
did those turns and the leg went up
yeah.
for a
Mhm.
couple of them, all the way up. Like,
And then she pulled in and then held it at the end.
Yeah, the suspension at the end.
how do you
It was-
control that?
It was like the quad into a triple coupe into a triple leg hold turn for me. I don't know.
Which, or are we talking about the front walkover on top of her toes in a passe where it came up and her leg was holding? Or was it the leg hold turn where she did like 8 of them? Or the turn section after?
Like,
I really like how she did. I think she did 2 or 3 of them, but she used illusions for her transitions, and I really liked it.
yeah.
Yeah, there was not much that I didn't like there. Or there was nothing that I didn't like there.
Pause.
It was, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
That was actually perfection. I know I've said this before, but I think that might be one of my favorite dancers of the entire season. Not
Oh,
even just
wow.
solos, but one of my favorite.
True.
I mean, that was perfection. That was amazing.
And you said that was from Long Island.
Long Island from Studio L Hoboken.
Wow, love it.
I mean, what notes would you give her as a judge? I mean, thank goodness I'm not a judge, but
I think I would have been in awe.
yeah,
And in that moment, you almost have to be like, as a judge, I feel like,
good job.
be like, I have no words because there's no corrections
Yeah.
in that moment. Like, stunning performance, nothing to work on, you
Yeah.
know?
I would be like, sorry, my mic must have broken. I don't know what happened.
I was on mute.
I was on mute. So sorry.
No, they wouldn't have known that I was on mute because I'd be gasping the whole time, like, oh, what?
Whoa.
Yeah, definitely. It was beautiful. And I will say that Carr, Long Island was actually our highest grossing city for our DAC Pink Buckets this weekend.
Woo woo.
Shout out to our director, Megan Swan, killing it. We raised, you guys, I swear it keeps getting more every week.
More?
Yes. Are you ready?
No.
$1,600.
Just from Carr, Long Island.
Just from Carr, Long Island. Isn't that
You know what the
crazy?
trick was, right? Megan said, "This is my hometown. I'm going to bring home the big bucks for it." I can already
Right?
tell.
Yeah.
totally.
So
Wow.
so generous. Thank you, Carr, Long Island, all the studios that were there this weekend. Your donations are seriously impacting these families more than you know. And I will just say this. We want to help more people. So if you know anyone in the dance community that's battling, whether it's a teacher, a parent, a dancer themselves, a studio owner, whoever it is in our dance community, please encourage them to go online to I'mADancerAgainstCancer.org and apply for our financial assistance. We have raised already, just from the pink buckets alone, this does not include our merch sales or any other type of donations. Just in our pink buckets alone, we've already hit that $20,000 mark. And it's only week 8 or 9 of shows. So
I think it's like, yeah, that's insane.
yeah,
We're not even halfway through really yet.
No, we haven't reached our halfway mark. So it's just your guys' generosity has been so just wild. It's so appreciated. And
Yeah.
I just, every single week, I just have to give you guys a shout out because it's so appreciated. And across the board, all cities are just being so generous with their donations this season. And I don't know if it's because we all missed it during those COVID shows. And now that it's back, we're just excited and ready to go. But amazing. Thank you so much to Miss Megan, our amazing director of Car Long Island.
Car Island.
Can you imagine if Car had their own island?
I mean,
we're really thinking of things.
Ring, ring. Hello, Rick.
but
But anyway,
can we get an
amazing job.
island?
Amazing job to all of our dancers in Car Long Island. And thank you for your generosity.
I have one more. My last pick is actually also from Car Long Island. So while we're talking about them, I will just finish it out. This was actually a group routine. It was called My Way from Dream Centered Dance. It was the IDA winner. Super cute.
Oh.
The very end had a little senior moment. So I wasn't there, but I watched the video, and the video was so amazing. These dancers, you can tell they've been dancing, or it appear that they've been dancing together for forever. It was just so powerful. It was a group of all females that just were going after it. They had their suitcases with them, the choreography with the prop. It wasn't just like they left the prop on stage and it was like, why did we bring this? We're not even using it. It was so powerful. And the best part about it was that they were so committed and had everybody's attention in the audience that apparently our MC said that you could literally hear a pin drop if you were in that audience because everybody was watching it. There wasn't one person walking around, one person texting, doing nothing. They were all so committed to it. I mean, even the costuming on this is great. The props are great. You can just tell they're all loving it and so passionate about dancing and dancing together. And it just pays off because they're so in sync. I love the choreography too.
Hey,
I feel like this could be on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yes. Not suitcases, briefcases. Kind of matches your trend too.
Yeah.
I like that it was the original version of the song as well.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
This is a good song.
Gives you all the feels.
Yeah.
This is from Dream Center, you said?
A
Yeah.
couple of our judges
Jody.
are from Dream Center. Jody and Anjali.
Ooh, they're such beautiful dancers, but they just dance so well together.
Yeah.
I want you guys to see the part where they slam down their briefcases.
Ooh.
But that's okay. You can watch that part later.
We'll definitely watch.
Is there any other picks you guys had to talk about?
Yes, I have one. And it's funny. Okay, so our venue in Chicago is unique in the sense of there's not a ton of backstage space. So we kind of have to make do with what we have. And I happen to be an extra person to help out with anything, breaking people, helping out backstage, whatever it may be. So we had super lines first before our first awards on Saturday, and then we had productions right after. So I was in charge of aligning up the productions and super lines along the right side hallway leading up to the backstage area. And as soon as the backstage cleared, then they brought on the next one. We want to make it fair for all dancers during productions and super lines and keep it clear for them. So some super lines can have up to 200 dancers on stage at one time. And
You said 200?
no, I swear there was one that
What?
had almost 150 dancers in it.
Wow.
And they legitimately had all these different crossovers and stuff. So we want to keep the backstage area as clear as possible for that studio so that they have it as much space. So I saw these dancers getting ready. And I was like, holy crap, their costumes are everything. I know they're doing an Elton John piece. It was act 297 Rocket Man from Storm Dance Alliance. Yes. Are you kidding? They were
Play
wearing
it back.
all
Play
my
it
costumes. The sleeves had feathers on them. They had rhinestone sunglasses that were like strapped onto their heads. This huge prop. Obviously, they did all of the iconic Elton John songs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like, the audience in tune with it, like, everyone, even studios that weren't their studio, singing along to all of the songs the dancers were singing on stage. They obviously won. Their song played, the dancers were singing along to the song as they were taking their photo for the website,
So
like,
good.
I was mesmerized by it. I was watching it from the side because I was still lining up the rest of the productions,
Mhm.
but the fact that all of the rest of the productions were, like, standing at the windows, like, watching, you
Yeah.
knew it was great.
You can't go
That's
wrong.
my dream.
Yeah, a good Elton John routine. That reminds me, you know who did a really good Elton John routine last
Who?
year is Soul Shock in Arizona.
Yes.
They did
I remember.
I remember because Ainsley was up on the piano and it was
Yes, they were in white
yeah.
suits.
Yes, they were in white.
Oh.
You guys, it's a thing.
Did they start the trend? I'm just
I-
kidding. But no, it was so good. And I feel like anytime like Elton John is one of those artists, I think, when you put it up with like a Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, where you know that you're going to see those routines at least one a weekend at a competition.
Yes.
But I think it's just there's such a high thought of artists that if you're going to do a routine to one of their songs, you have to give it 120%.
Oh yeah.
You can't slack off in the costume or the choreography or the dancers themselves. Like
Yeah.
you have to give it your all to do them justice. And I saw it. They did.
I freaking love old school Elton John, Freddie Mercury, like, all of that. Oh my gosh. I wanna see, like, a really bomb production, like a Queen one. That would be so good.
I'm surprised we
Imagine
haven't
those
seen more of that, especially after the movie.
I've
Like a
seen a
full
lot of
production.
I've seen a lot of like legends or like
Yes.
Yeah.
like
Through them all.
icons, but it's always like just a short snippet. It's never dedicated to the entire,
I want to see a full Queen production.
That would
That'd
be
be good.
so cool because there's so much that you could do with it.
100%.
There's so
So
many
much.
iconic looks.
Yeah.
It's like Elton John. So
Mhm.
kudos to Storm Dance Alliance for their Rocket Man production because I was mesmerized.
That's awesome.
Can you see my dog's tail sticking out behind me?
No,
He just wants to be a part of the
He
podcast.
does. He does.
it's so funny. Another big group routine. I don't know if this was like a large group or a line, but there was a lot of dancers on stage. It was from New England Dance Center and it was Ramalama. It's like that like
Oh,
the
Roisin
Ramalama,
Murphy.
bang bang.
Ding bang
Dance,
bang
dance,
bang.
OG.
100%. But New England is known for their acro. Like they are one of those studios that all their kids can do anything, it seems like. And they had this really cool black, like one shoulder, which that's another trend that remember we talked about. I think it was first with Annie's costume, but it's like that royal and it's always like that fluffy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it was that similar costume, but like black, one cool shoulder, and I just thought Ramalama is such a good song for acro, and I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
the counts or just the like intensity, but because they're all so good at tumbling and acro and everything, they are able to do like that weird, creepy contortion stuff.
Yes.
So they're like walking upside down, like to the beat of the music, and it gives us this like creepy feel.
Were
But
you looking at them through your eyeballs?
Like this.
yes. It was one of those routines where by the end I'm like watching it like this because I'm like into it. You know what I mean? But it was so good. And I feel like it's really hard to execute an acro routine with that many dancers in it because
Mhm.
especially with the giant, they're always going to do a tumbling pass at some
Yep.
point. So they're all going to clear the stage and they're all going to go one by one or two by two and they're all going to be doing all their amazing tricks. And sometimes it can get a little chaotic, especially like you were talking about spatial awareness. Stresses me out if I'm watching a group routine and it's an acro. Most of the time, my palms are sweating because I'm so
sweating.
nervous that someone's gonna get hurt or that someone's gonna miss their cue
Or they're
and like
gonna
land wrong.
clip each other.
Exactly. And so
scares
the
me.
fact that New England and all their dancers were just so on top of their counts, their spatial awareness, it was just a great routine. And the fact that they were bringing a performance element too, because I think that's one of the things that sometimes you can lose with a really big acro routine is
Mhm.
understandably, they're focused, right? And they're really focused in wanting to make sure that they do it correctly and that they land correctly and they don't hurt themselves or anyone else. And I feel like they can kind of take themselves out of the routine in that way. And from the audience perspective, you kind of fall out of it yourself. But they did not do this. New England was 100% committed. The creepiness, the contortionist, all of that, it just blended together, and it was just a great acro routine. And it was
That's
so
a really good song for that. I didn't really think of that song for that, but that is so good. I love that together.
I know, 100%.
That just brings me back to the So You Think You Can Dance days.
Definitely.
What was
Definitely.
that, like first or second season that they did that?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that
it's
Sonia?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it
those are the
was.
good
Which
days.
explains like that, like different, cool, weird
Like,
style.
quirky
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. And I think adding an acro contortion element to it just elevates the performance
Totally.
for sure.
Maybe we'll see them at finals.
I don't know. I hope
I would
so.
love to see them
I
at
would
finals.
love that.
Which PS, side note, today
Ooh.
finals
What?
registration opened. So if you're looking to attend our nationals, call us up.
Get excited.
Well, not us.
We've got a lot.
Kendra and Sue.
Call us. Call playback.
We'll get you on the list. I
We're
think.
excited. We're going to be at all the finals most likely. So we're excited to see, because we go to all these different cities throughout the season, we're still missing out on a ton of talent
Yes.
because, you can only see what's at your show. So we're always excited for finals to come around because then you get to see like the best of the
Everything.
best. So
You might
it's
even
always-
see us all three together on the stage.
100% you will. You'll see all three of us together.
We'll see.
Car Convention also opened up their
Yes.
registration as well. So if you're looking at auditioning for our protege program or seeing what that's all about, that just opened up for the fall.
Definitely. It's
That
so weird.
protege, go for it.
I was just going to say, it's so weird that we're already this deep into the season.
Right. Like I
it
feel
goes
like
by
we
so
just
fast.
finished Car Convention and now the registration just opened up and I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's
Yeah.
go. I love
Time
convention.
flies when you live on planes. I gotta go. I gotta
You know
go.
what's weird? It's weird thinking that we're about to audition for our third set of proteges because we have our first ones. Our second ones went through the audition process. There are proteges that we're highlighting all season right now. And now we're about to audition for our third set. So
Yeah.
that's just so crazy to think about. And it's just so crazy to see how much the proteges have already gotten to accomplish in that first really year. They've gotten to be a part of so many photo shoots, gotten to create so much content, gotten to travel, gotten to even just going to competitions and having that little bit of a special job or special feature is just, I know, really
I
cool
would've-
for them.
I would have loved that when I was a dancer.
Oh,
I
me
would have.
too.
I would have been all about that.
Thrive.
It's
So-
fun for us too because then we have a student that we get to connect with throughout the entire weekend and we get to give a special job to. We get to highlight throughout the weekend. So really check out that protege program. It's something really special. You get to meet friends in the industry that you're going to grow up with and you get to meet other parents and families that you can really build your community with. So really check that out. Not a promotion, just I'm a fan of it.
No, I agree.
Okay, there's something that's been on my mind. I mean, I do have our judges tip and I also have a judges pick, but I saw this TikTok and it's been on my mind. I know that I was a good like tapper from the waist up, like I could really sell it. I would get called out in convention because I'd be on the carpet, like I would miss the hardwood floor. They'd be like, "You come out on stage," and I'd kill it. But there's no like tap mics or anything, so yeah, that was great. But I definitely I didn't have like the good tap shoes, right? But I saw this TikTok and I sent it to Nate so we can. I'm outing myself right now. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
But we posted that Lily girl, right? Lily, so good, great tap dancer. And we had people on TikTok saying, you need to get these tap shoes. You need to get these tap shoes. And it just had me thinking, like, what tap shoes do we need? Which ones are the best? And then TikTok read my mind like it does. I didn't even have to say it out loud. And this TikTok came up where somebody was testing out all the different ones on a board. So I want to play it. I want y'all to watch it.
Okay.
And then I want everybody who's watching this to vote down below. And also, if you are a professional tapper, if you're one of our judges and you love tapping, if you have tested out any of these shoes, just give your opinion on which ones are your favorite. That way it might help somebody else out so they're not buying ones that they don't like, or, you know, they can just help out your other dancers and other tappers in the community. So let's play this back. Let's watch it and let's see what everyone's vote is. Everybody just vote. You saw that video. Vote below. I just
Yeah,
want to
let
know.
us know.
I have
The
to
more
say-
you know.
I have to say something because this crossed my mind this weekend, and I was like, I need to bring this up on the podcast because it's kind of eating me up.
Oh,
I thought, okay, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when
Okay.
I was a tapper, you know how there's trends based on like what's cool, what's not cool, whatever. When I was tapping, it was not cool to wear socks with your taps. So all of us blistered because obviously, but it was not cool. Like you did not wear socks. And now if you don't wear socks, I feel like it's weird. Like any tap routine that I watch, they're wearing socks with.
I
You
never wore socks. I don't know why I said you. I never wore socks, but I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about it now. And I didn't even know that people really wore socks now.
Everyone
Well-
wears socks now. And I think it's the trend. And it's so weird how trends come and go, even with just like dance socks or not.
I
But-
might be aging myself, but social media wasn't really a thing when I was growing up tapping. Like it was even before MySpace.
Not that me and Jocelyn don't say, no, you're not. We just said,
Yeah, but like yeah, no, I definitely wore socks with my tabs because they would eat
Yeah.
up my Achilles.
No, they
all the
would, and that's the
time.
no,
thing.
I
Like,
just let it
asked-
eat.
Yeah, I did too. And I'm like, why did we do that to ourselves? Like it was not
They
good or
smelled
better, but for some reason,
horrible.
yeah, 100%. And I don't know why we thought it was not cool to wear socks.
Oh,
And I
I'd
remember my
wear-
mom would be like, put socks on. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, you don't understand. It's not cool.
Like I would wear like the thick ones like up to here because honestly, like it would just dig right into that like
I'm aware.
I'm
aware.
like so unaware because it was never even a thing to wear socks with ours.
wow.
But that's what I'm saying. I've been watching. And
The
it's-
only time we wore socks is when we wore like black jazz pants or black pants and you had to have black socks underneath
Oh,
to
yeah.
match everybody else.
Yep.
That was it. And
Same.
9 out of 10 times I was the person who forgot the socks. So
Oh, not.
are we surprised?
all.
Are we surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Well, my first ever solo was a tap solo. So I did Itty Bitty Pretty One by
yeah.
Aaron Carter.
Oh.
And I looked like a little Minnie Mouse. And I had those like white socks that you fold over that have
Cute.
the ruffles on them.
Those are coming back actually. Like I
Aaron Carter from NSYNC,
No,
or
his brother was in the Backstreet Boys.
he wasn't in the Backstreet Boys.
No,
he was
he
the
was
younger brother.
the younger
I
one.
want candy.
So
was
he
in
was
the
still
Hillary-
famous. He was famous from his brother being in Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Yes, he
Lizzie
was
McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire. He had like he
Cute.
dated Lindsay Lohan and Hilary Duff. Fun fact.
Okay, get it.
Whoa.
All right. I have a judge's tip from this weekend.
Let's do it.
Judge's tip, which the dancers we showcased this weekend actually did it really, really, really well, which is why I kind of mentioned it when I was talking about one of them.
Yeah.
The number one tip was dance all the way through your fingers, which is a really easy tip to fix, dancers. So if this is something that you're not focusing on, apply it to your competition next weekend. It's something that we don't really think of. You just think of putting your arm out. Next time, think of putting your arm out and extending all the way to your fingers. It really just makes a difference. It makes it seem like you're giving that 110%, like you're reaching all the way across instead of just hitting the count. So same thing goes with your feet. You know, if you're pointing, point all the way through your toes. Don't just point your feet because that's ugly when your toes aren't pointed all the way down.
All the way.
All
Yeah.
the way.
All the
Fingers,
way.
toes, all the way through. Same thing. When you're pulling up, pull all the way through your head. Just give it that extra stretch on every single thing. And then we also had a judge's pick. This is from Jenny Glenn from Carr Bridgeport. She picked West Side Story from Academy of Dance.
Ooh.
She said 2 things. 1, they turned their Converse into tap shoes, which was super cute. So maybe
Cute.
that's the best type of tap shoes that you can get. And 2, she said it was just really entertaining and really unique. And the whole production of it was really executed very well. So that was our judges' pick. And those were our judges' tips from this weekend.
I love that.
That's fun.
Those are good ones. I think that when you're on stage and you're, you know, whether it's, I think it's a solo specifically, like in a group dance, which you shouldn't slack off, but when you're in a solo, and all eyes are on you, every single moment needs to be picture perfect
It
because
counts.
all eyes are on you. When you're in a group routine, like I feel like you can kind of get away in certain parts, like, okay, this is my moment to breathe. And I'm like rolling on the floor and no one's watching me because they're watching this lift right here or something like that. You can kind of take a second to gather yourself. But during a solo, like that 2.5, 3 minutes, all eyes are on you and you need to execute it as flawlessly as possible. And that means the fingertips through the toes, through your
Yes.
head, like everything.
Okay, but not even just like solo, yes, but groups, my favorite thing is to look for the dancers in the back corner, the back center where they think that you can't see them. And I think I learned this best from Brian and Scott Nicholson. Shout out Ariana Grande's choreographers.
Fancy.
They teach in LA and they're like my favorite class to take because they pay attention to every single person in that room. They're twins and literally one will be teaching and the other one will be watching and they'll point out that person in the back. They'll go all the way to the back and give them a critique. And so that's my favorite thing as Tally on the weekends to look for that person in the back. Even though I'm not judging, I'm judging. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I can see you. No, smile, please smile. Oh, I can see you. Don't mark that turn. Don't,
Yeah.
like I learned that from them because I'm constantly watching the teachers while they're teaching class in LA, but shout out to them. Make
Also,
sure-
when you're sitting right at the front, and sometimes at some venues, you are so close to those dancers that are right there, you can't see their full picture. So to get the full picture of the choreography, you're looking at maybe that second line or that third
Yes.
line.
Mhm.
And that's where you're getting the concept and the execution and that overall score from. So sometimes those dancers right in the front, yes, you can see their leg go high, but if they're too close to you, I'm almost looking past them and just looking at that second line and that third line. So it really does make a big difference of what you guys are doing in that second and third line.
And
Totally.
I think, like, obviously, majority of our shows are in an auditorium where we're sitting below, so we're looking
Mhm.
up. But
Mhm.
going back to like those college dance teams, they're all those judges are sitting high and they're looking down.
Yep.
So that was always the thing that I was trained for is even if you are in that back corner, it doesn't matter where you are, you're seen
Mhm.
because it's just the way the layout of the way most of those venues are for
Yep.
those college and high school dance team types
It's
of
like a
competitions.
gymnasium almost.
Exactly. Versus we're in an auditorium and our aisles are kind of more in a normal theater seating. So it honestly depends on your venue, but also just you're on stage, take that moment to give 120%. It's only 3 minutes of your life
Yep.
and you've been training 6 months for it. So you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your choreographer and the rest of those dancers on stage to give it your 120%.
Totally.
We love it.
We love it.
I'm
Where will
excited.
you be next weekend?
So this weekend I'll be at Ultra San Gabriel. We're very excited. This is our second Ultra show. So we did our
sold out, right?
sold out.
Love it. Sold
Yeah.
out just for your birthday.
I know. My birthday's on Friday if anyone wants to bring me a Celsius.
Ooh, happy
Um,
birthday.
I'll need it to get through the long weekend, but I'm excited. It's really, really going to be fun. I know a couple studios that are coming. I haven't looked over the official list, but I'm just excited for more people to experience Ultra. I've had a couple shows throughout the last couple weeks at Car, and I've had a lot of people asking me about it. So I'm excited for us to just show more performances on the Ultra stage. And we do have a little bit of a surprise. Hi, thank you.
What's the surprise?
I feel
You'll
like
all find out.
I feel like you can't spoil the surprise.
I'm not going to spoil the surprise.
Wait,
We'll
you're
be
not gonna-
posting about it.
Will you tell me the surprise after the podcast? I hate not knowing.
Yes, I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
But for everyone else, you guys are going to have to find out. So we have an exciting day planned at Ultra. Lots of fun surprises. So we're excited.
Ooh.
Also, just because it is March, I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have our Dance of the Month choreographed by Jimmy Love available. It's called the Scoop Challenge. So make sure you guys are learning that so you can do it before awards. Also, it is March, which is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. So we have one of our amazing Hope Stories, Steve, his daughter, Corinne, choreographed an awesome routine for that as well. So we have both of those dance challenges happening for the month of March. And just a reminder that one thing you can do for your birthday, and I'm going to set it up for my birthday this weekend, is our DC birthday fundraisers. So all you have to do is click the link. I'll put it up in my bio and I'll post it on the DAC Instagram as well. And we can just do a little birthday fundraiser. So
I like that.
we've got lots of fun stuff going on this weekend and just for the month of March in general when it comes to DAC. So we're just always trying to keep you guys informed and updated of all the fun things that we got going on. And obviously, make sure you're following I'm a Dancer Against Cancer to find out more.
I will be in Detroit, Michigan this weekend. There's actually 2 Detroit shows this weekend. I'll be at Detroit, Michigan 2 at Clarkston High School, I believe it's called. I'm excited. I haven't been to Detroit since last year, and I might get to see Madison.
I'm going to come see you. I'm going to be doing social media for all the shows again, but I definitely am going to stop by Detroit 2 and hopefully Detroit 1 as well. I know we have, I think, 3 proteges is Detroit 2 car?
They're both car shows this weekend.
Ooh, I know we have 3 proteges at one of the Detroit shows. So I definitely want to go see our proteges,
Yes.
get some content of them as well. So I will definitely see you there. I'm excited.
Love it. All right. I think that's a wrap for what is this? The
Week
6th
6.
Episode? Dang.
Flying
by.
It's all a blur at this point.
We're
Truly.
getting a little tired.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the season deliriousness is starting.
It was the daylight savings. It was the daylight
Yes,
savings.
it definitely was that.
That
We
was
lost an hour
that was a rude awakening on
the
Sunday
East
morning.
Coast.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always on the East Coast
Yes.
during daylight savings. And so I always, not only am I jet lagged, but then on top of that, you lose that hour.
Oh.
And I know the entire crew when we were on Sunday, all of us felt it was weird because we ended at 5 p.m.
Oh yeah, you guys.
But it
ended
literally
early.
felt like the longest day of our lives.
We
It's-
somehow were able to get an hour ahead on Saturday because we were at a venue where we had a union backstage stagehands. So they had to have an 8-hour turnaround. Somehow we got an hour ahead. So we got out before that, just in the nick of time, but
That's
it
awesome.
still hurt.
Yeah.
Still hurt.
Well, I know that we're all going to finish resting up this week
Yes.
before we head out for our shows. As always, make sure you guys are following at Playback Podcast, commenting down below all the questions that we asked over this episode. Also, make sure if we are coming to a city to you, that you are commenting your song title, your act number, your studio, so that we know who to shout out for the next episode. As always, thank you for listening, and we will see you on the road.